Gallery for the Wham event, Wine, Art, and Music. And a big part of the music that you heard and saw earlier comes from the recipient of tonight's honoree of being Portnoy, Zonia de la Guardia. And obviously, there's a lot to talk about. It's a reflective night regarding your career. But before we get there, what does it feel like tonight just being able to share this? Because I've seen you walking around, taking pictures, giving hugs, exchanging pleasantries. What has tonight been like just for you on a personal level?
Oh, it's an honor. It's incredible to actually be Portnoyed and added to the wall. Singing is my only passion. It's what I live, breathe, and do on a daily basis. And to actually be here tonight with all of my friends and also fellow entertainers, it's just an incredible feeling. I'm really excited to be here.
And rightfully so. And you talk about your passion, a passion that has been rooted in you since what, the age of 4?
Since I was 4, yeah.
And you're a product of the Bay Area. When did you realize that singing was your thing? Not only something that you enjoyed to do and could do, but something you really thought you could make a living.
I'd like to say probably at 15. Yeah.
And is there a certain thing that clicked? Was it a performance? Was it something else from your sphere of influence, or an outside force? What was it?
I sang a song by Whitney Houston and got a standing ovation in high school by all 4 classes. And I said, wow, maybe I can really make this a career.
And that's what's so cool, because you look at your influences, everyone from, Etta James to Selena. When did you kind of start to formulate your own style? Because again, you just mentioned Whitney Houston. Was there a certain genre that you gravitated? Because obviously with what you do now, multilingual music, various cultures, but was there a certain genre that you kind of really just found yourself shifting towards?
This is an interesting question because as a singer-songwriter, I just go with how a melody line feels to me, and I write around that and also my experiences. It's hard to actually put my music into a genre. I just feel like I'm a person that is all on my own. I haven't really figured that out, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
And that leads me to the next question. At this point in your musical journey, what's most important to you? Because at this point, all the early work, the roadblocks that you often have early on as a singer, as a performing artist, you've overcome those. What's important to you now? What's a priority to your career now?
The most important thing to me is writing my original music in hopes that it will help people, touch them, make them dance, and sharing my songs with the world. That's what I really brings joy to me in my life. It's part of who I am. It's my in my soul to do this.
And I love how there's such a personal element. You're not just a singer, you're a singer songwriter. Do you find yourself now, in terms of managing both, do they kind of just, cumulatively come together for you? Or is the lyrical process a little bit different in terms of how you, manifest and illustrate these lyrics in your head and then put them down on paper?
I go by experiences, different things that have happened to me in my life. I go ahead and write them down in paper, and then I just share it with the world in hopes that it can, like I said, touch somebody, make them dance. Um, it's difficult because basically vulnerable.
Right.
You show your whole soul, and that's a hard thing to do.
And on nights like tonight, because you're spot on, it really is a hard thing to do, especially someone who's a creative, especially someone who's an entertainer. But nights like tonight, when you could sit back and reflect how far you've come, and you made it clear there's a lot you still want to accomplish as an artist. But sitting here now, is this kind of a night where you could just kind of sit back, reflect, and think, wow, that little girl out of the Bay Area at the age of 4, and then at the age of 15 singing Whitney Houston? Do you really sit back with an element of pride, or is it pretty much all towards the future at this point? Because I would imagine it would be hard not to pat yourself on the back a little bit after tonight, right?
Well, I'm very grateful to be here. And as a person, like I said, that I had a troubling childhood, for me to be able to say that I did this and I've come this far, I mean, I feel like I'm just getting started. Yeah.
That's so awesome to hear. And again, for all you've been following along, we thank you so much for tuning in. Zonia, we thank you for joining us as well. She feels she's just getting started, so now's the time to follow her. In terms of anyone who wants to get involved in your music, or the best way to follow you, to actually, see your content or listen to your music, download it, check it out on YouTube, is there any particular avenue they should go with?
Absolutely. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, also social media, Zonia de la Guardia, Facebook and Instagram. Also, I'm on TikTok as well. And I have a new show called Cha Cha Cha. It's a bilingual show, production show, very spicy with dancers, and you should check it out. Composer's Room, February 21st.
Be sure to do that. We all love the Composer's Room. We love it at GoLive Vegas. So be sure to check out Zonia. Congratulations again, and thank you all so much for tuning in. It's a special night. It's a special night for her. It's a special night for Neil and Dorothy. And if you got to be involved in it, you realize how special these nights are and why the Wham is the place to be at the Portnoy Gallery. So we thank you all so much. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap it up on GoLive Vegas.